can't seem to face up to the facts. I'm tense and nervous and I can't relax.
Today we are looking at the psychology of change, from being more punctual to leaving an unhealthy relationship. Sometimes starting over can actually be a lot easier said than done.
Whether it's wanted or thrust upon us, what's the secret to making change stick, and how can you embrace times of uncertainty? For more on this, we are joined by author and commentator Margie Warrell. Great to see you, Margie.
Good to see you too.
Why do you think we resist change so much?
Well, you know, all change, even change for the better, is difficult. I mean, it takes us out of our comfort zone, it's unfamiliar, and people feel vulnerable. So it explains why so many people stay in jobs they loathe, in relationships where they're lonely, because it's familiar. It's at least they know it's a known quantity.
Yeah.
And so it's hard, even when people know that the change is good for them.
What about if you're choosing to make a change? You're stuck in a rut, you want to change something. Where do you start?
Well, I think the first thing is to get really clear about why you need to make that change, because often we discount or underestimate the cost of inaction, and we put off change, and we tell ourselves, oh, it's not so bad, I mean, at least he doesn't beat me, or, you know, at least I get paid, and we have all these reasons why we shouldn't change. So I think get really clear about why you need to change, and then take it down into small little steps. You know, what is just something small that you could do, and take action all the time, and also realise that there'll be people around you who are threatened by your desire to change, that makes them feel bad about maybe their choices and where they're at. So there's often people around us who don't want us to change. So avoiding the naysayers and the cynics, and just focus on small wins as well.
Okay.
Is it better to take change in stages, so like stage it out, or just do the Band-Aid effect and rip it off?
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends. You know, there's a lot of research that shows, say if it's a habit, say it's smoking or something that's unhealthy for you, it actually can be more effective just to go cold turkey and say, that's it, I'm no longer going to smoke or drink or whatever it is that may be really unhealthy for you. However, if you haven't done any exercise for 5 years and you say, that's it, I'm going to get up every morning at 5 a.m. and work out, you know, you're not setting yourself up for success. So I think it does depend on the circumstance, and sometimes it's better to just go gradually and say, all right, well, you know what, I'm going to do 3 times a week, I'm going to just go out and go for a walk, and slowly build up to, say, being more fit and healthy.
How can you make sure that your change will stick, that you'll actually stick with what you're saying you're going to do?
Yeah, well, there's a few things. One is, I think, to make sure you get support and listen support of people around you. It's very easy to be pulled back into our old default habits. So that's really important. So too, just be patient. You know, sometimes we think, I'm going to make this change and everything should just work out brilliantly straight away. But, you know, it can sometimes take a while for good results to happen, for us to see really the rewards of our efforts. And I think it's also just really important to just set yourself up with your environment. Have little reminders. Just keep reminding yourself why you're doing it, and then reward your progress. Just say you've gone out and you've been doing that exercise. Go and buy yourself a new outfit. Just do something that rewards the progress, even if you're not always getting the results you want. It's about just building the momentum and knowing that when it comes to changing habits, whether it's the way we think, whether it's the way we act, it takes a long time. So we have to just stick at it and be patient.
Margie, the big question is, though, is change as good as a holiday?
Well, you know, sometimes it can be a lot better for us than a holiday. And I think we've got to be careful sometimes not just going on a holiday thinking, it'll all just get better if I do that. So, yeah.
I had to throw it in there. I'm sorry. It was so cheesy.
Good on you, Tom.
Thank you, Margie. Everything is better, though, with a holiday, right? There's margaritas, there's a lounge chair. Thanks, Margie.
Nice one.